Welcome to the Rotary Times Show, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and members about how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and rural communities. I'm your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. Every year, Rotary District 7610 hosts its annual speech contest. It's open to high school students across the Northern Virginia region. It's a contest that's held that celebrates young voices with powerful ideas that capture so many of the values that Rotary unite through all of us. Today's show will spotlight this year's first place winner, Sara, Nadkarni, a student from Fairfax County Public Schools. Welcome, Sara, to the Rotary Times Show.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here today to talk about the contest and to talk about your involvement in school and all of the really wonderful things that I have heard that you are involved in. They tell me you're a lady on the go, so let's get started, okay? Sara, tell us a little bit about what grade you're in, the name of your school, and the kinds of things you're doing there.
So my name is Sara Nadkarni. I am a junior at George C. Marshall High School, and currently I hold multiple leadership positions within my school. For an example, I am a student leader in Marshall's Interact Club. So I'm very active on the youth side of Rotary, and I honestly love being a part of Interact, but apart from that, I'm also a varsity athlete, and I do various other things within school that are academic, but also sport inclined. I'm also an IB candidate junior, so that's my more academic side.
Yeah, you do have a jam-packed schedule if you're an IB diploma student as well. What varsity sport are you involved?
I'm in the winter cheer, so that's
winter cheer. Okay.
I'm a varsity scholar athlete for winter cheer.
Wonderful, great job, congratulations. Yeah. Let's talk about what inspired you to enter the Rotary District 7610 speech contest.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'm a part of my school's Interact Club, which really allowed me to take the first step to even hearing about the competition. And we do have connections to the Tyson's Club. So the Tyson's Club really came and advertised it to us, having Mr. Jim Solomon come into our club and talk about what the Tyson's Rotary Club is doing. And so he alerted me of the competition and said, hey, you have really good speaking skills. Why don't you go and try this out? And I was like, okay, I might as well see how it goes. And so I entered the competition, and I think doing the first round, it really motivated me to keep going. But as Mr. Solomon told me, I do have a lot of speaking and public speaking experience. So that definitely gave me the confidence booster to tell myself, like, I'm capable of doing something like this. Although I will say that the 8-minute memorization really deterred me initially, but I'm really glad that I went through with it.
Absolutely. Did you say 8 minutes? You had to memorize your entire speech.
Yeah, so we had no notes given to us. Like, we weren't allowed to have any papers, and the speech was supposed to be from around 5 minutes to 8 minutes. I think most days, on a good day, mine was like 7 minutes. Okay. But yeah, it's memorization and being a good and evocative talker.
What was the topic of this year's speech?
Yeah, so the topic of this year's speech competition was the magic of Rotary, basically talking about what makes Rotary so special.
Absolutely, and we both know that from an Interact perspective and the Rotarian perspective, Rotary is a special place. What was the process that you used to help you? You just said you had to memorize anywhere from 5 minutes to 8 minutes, no notes. Did you have a mentor? How did you work through that process?
Yeah, so thankfully, I had a wonderful mentor, and that was one of our judges actually from the initial school based competition. And hats off to Mr. Ali. He's so awesome and wonderful, and I'm really, really grateful for having him as my mentor. And so it's funny because one of the first times that I like formally met with him to review my speech was when I was at a different competition. And so in between my like other competition, I was kind of training with him, and when we were doing it over Zoom, so he was trying to give me all these tips. And actually most of our conferences were over Zoom, but it was still super chaotic. But he's so knowledgeable and amazing, and I think he took my the speaking skills that I already have and just enhanced them. And so I mean, that's kind of what the process looked like for me. But the writing, I kind of made smaller tweaks to the initial speech I wrote, which wasn't super bad. But I think, yeah, it was just a great process.
Great job. Well, we know it was a great process because you won. So we know everything went well.
Yeah.
How did you feel knowing that you had to present this in front of judges and others that are just part of an audience?
Yeah, so like I said, 8 minutes. I mean, for me, that's like 7 minutes, but still, it's very intimidating. So initially, I was super intimidated in going in front of this whole big panel, especially because I think there were at points more judges than competitors. So to me, I think that intimidation of being able to speak to people who are so knowledgeable and intelligent, yeah, it was a little bit nerve wracking, but I tried my best to feel present and to really connect with the judges, because that's kind of what I revolved my whole speech around. And I wanted to embody that in my presence. And so I tried to incorporate that while being there and doing my speech. And so I think I really was able to connect with the judges.
Yeah. Well, I've heard it. It's a great speech. So, congratulations to you on that. What did you learn about Rotary through this experience?
So, like I said, I'm already a part of my school's Interact Club, which gives me a lot of background on Rotary and Interact itself. However, through the speech competition, I learned a lot about community and a lot about the support that Rotary gives. So, showing up to the competitions, obviously, I had my parents come with me time to time, my siblings too. And so, and there was one point where my mom came into the competition and she realized that so many people had come to support me, and even if they weren't present in the room while I was giving the speech, they came there to invest in my success. And it shows me a lot about how a community should act. And it's not just about celebrating your own success, but it's also about celebrating others' success. And so Rotary embodies that in every way, shape, and form.
Would you recommend other students thinking about it for maybe next year? Would you recommend that they say yes to the competition ask?
Yeah, I mean, totally. Like I said, I run my own club, and being the student leader of that club, I have actually, like, students have come up to me and said, "Hey, like, should I do this competition?" And then I tell them about like the 8 minute memorization, and they're like, "No way. There is no way I'm able to do that." And I'm like, "Yes, you can. Yes, you can." I thought I wasn't able to do it, and I did it. And so I would say don't let that deter you whatsoever, and just go for it. It's just confidence, and it's trying your best, because at the end of the day, it's just a speech competition, and that's it. Like, you're gonna learn a lot more skills than you're gonna lose.
What would you say was your most memorable moment during this experience?
I think my most memorable a moment during this experience was transporting. It's funny enough, but really transporting to the competitions, because I remember like I would have conversations with my mom in the car, and she would be like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yes, totally." And the support I was getting from her and the club kind of culminated into the moments as I was going. And I always listened to like some sort of hype music. And I remember during, I think like the second competition, I was sitting in my car listening to like some sort of hype music, and it was really fun. And I think another big part of it was at the competition getting to meet my competitors and talk to them about what they were doing at their Interact club, and just getting to know like the environment of Interact and Rotary and its coalition. That's a big part, and a big that's a moment that will definitely live in my mind for me.
Great. So you didn't get intimidated by your competition. You embraced them.
Yeah, I would say, in fact, I was in awe of them, and definitely, and I totally respect them for being there and showing up, because there were so many moments and points where I was like, man, I'm having this like identity crisis where it's like, why did I sign up for this really intimidating competition? So I think the work that I put in should not, and totally the work that I put in is almost the same, if not the same, to the work that they put in as well. And I could only accept and acknowledge that and commend them for being there that day.
How many contestants were there?
So within my school competition, I was competing against two other people, which is great because we were all winners that day. And then at the second level, there was one other person, and at the third level, there was also one other person.
Wow. Yeah, so that could have been a bit nerve-wracking, seeing your competition. Were you all in the same room or at all?
Yeah, it was super one-on-one. I remember that all the judges would go out, and then it was just, especially at the second, third level, it was just us two sitting in the room, and we were talking. What did you write on your speech? What did you write? We didn't actually say that, but it was very, very. You could feel the stress rating off of both of us, and we tried to keep it lighthearted, but yeah, it was just a great interacting, and both of the two people I competed with at the second and third level are amazing and intelligent young women, so just like me.
And did you do it at Marshall, or did you have to go somewhere else for the competition?
Yeah, so the first level was at Marshall, and then the second level was pretty local to me, not super far. But then the third level was a little out there. I believe we
Okay.
drove an hour and a half. Yeah, it was pretty far.
Yeah. Well, that is wonderful. Wow. That could be intimidating in itself. Even the drive, an hour
drive,
and
it
more. You know,
Yeah, it totally was.
yeah, but I'm glad everything worked out for you. And you represent Marshall High School, which I'm sure your school was very excited to hear that you were a winner, which they probably already knew you were a winner, but to hear that you won the contest probably was thrilling also.
I'm not 100% sure. I think, well, Interact for us is not a super large club, but we have a intense and immense impact within our school. So I think my Interact club itself was super proud of me, especially my advisor of the Interact club. Yeah, so I'm just grateful for my school and all the support I get from them, and I hope that they're proud of me.
Oh, they are. They are. We're proud of you, so I know they are as well. Okay. We're going to take a short break and be right back and talk more with Sara. Stay with us, please. Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're here talking with Sara Nadkarni, the winner of the 2025 District 7610 speech contest. Sara, I just don't even know what to say. Just listening to you talk publicly here on television, you are an amazing speaker. So I have no doubt you will be seeing more public speaking in your future. What do you think?
Yeah, hopefully. I really do enjoy public speaking and I do it a lot. In fact, recently I just gave a speech at our graduation type ceremony, and that was super exciting for me. So doing stuff like that is always really, really fun. And I hope to engage in similar kinds of things where I can advocate for bigger causes and bigger issues, and especially living so close to the capital of the nation. Hopefully something that really fosters change and can make an impact.
Absolutely. What are your future plans? College in your career path? What are we thinking of?
Yeah, I'm truly taking it step by step. There's a lot to think about and a lot of process and things to do. I mean, college app's right around the corner as we're ending junior year. But essentially, I really hope to stay on the East Coast. I love the East Coast. And I would love to do something in international relations, anything with obviously more public speaking. I'm not 100, I don't have a dream school necessarily, but I'm just excited and really looking forward to whatever school I end up committing to in the fall or in the spring.
Okay, well, we hope that your plans will become a future reality for you. And of course, we're always here to support you. If you need an audience that's out there listening to you, we're here to do that. Alrighty. But you know what, Sara? I'd like to have you share your speech with our audience. It was amazing, and it would be wonderful if you could share some excerpts from that speech.
Yeah, I would love to. So the next time someone asks you what makes Rotary so special, tell them this. Tell them it's not just about helping people, but it's about understanding them. It's not just about solving problems, but it's about standing with those who face them. And it's not just about leadership, but it's about the kind of leadership that makes the world a little kinder, a little stronger, and a whole lot more connected. And that's the magic of Rotary. And that's why we're here today.
That's the magic of Rotary, and thank you for that. I understand now why people were so moved. And I'm sure there, of course, more to that particular speech, but you've sort of encapsulated the Rotary, the magic that needs to be heard around the world. So thank you for that. Let's talk now about your activities at Marshall. What else are you doing at Marshall? Other than, because somebody told me you were also a part of DECA.
Oh yeah, I am a part of Marshall DECA, and I really do love and enjoy Marshall DECA. Recently, I was at the International Development Conference, which is why I wasn't able to present my speech at the Rotary Convention. Although I truly do support and love both these organizations, and so my involvement at DECA looks like being a two-time state champion. So I have won state awards this past year, and then I won when I was a freshman. Sophomore year, unfortunately, was just a learning experience, which is still awesome, and I'm still super grateful for it. But apart from that, I've also been a part of the leadership team for the past 3 years. Unfortunately, I will not be on the leadership team for the fourth, but I'm still really excited to compete next year. And so just for those that are not aware, DECA is a co-curricular club. Kind of the way that I like to describe it is like the Olympics meets Shark Tank, but for business kids. So we're always doing these cool pitches on new product ideas or new business ideas. And so mine really, I've tried to incorporate AI into my new businesses and on all these like workplace solutions. And so this year, one of the things that I pitched was about one of my local libraries and how AI can have involvement at my local library in helping it run smoother and more effectively. And so there's a lot of analytical thinking and critical thinking skills that I've employed, and they cross over with writing speeches and memorization because, once again, I'm doing that public speaking and reinforcing those skills. And so I can see both clubs really influencing and aiding each other. And like I said, I really enjoyed going to the international conference, networking, meeting people. And then you asked about my other involvements at Marshall. I am also a student leader in multiple other facets. I am a student ambassador for our Marshall Academy and then our Marshall General School. So what that position means is essentially I orient new students and I help them feel more comfortable in their environment. So that's a really big role and a tribute to who I am as a person. And I love talking to new people and making them feel welcome and feel like they're part of a community. And then I am also the founder and president of Marshall's UNICEF Club. So I work on that too. Similar donation drive, service above self. Love that. And then apart from that, always trying to start school initiatives. Like I said, I do a sport and it's really, really fun. I just love being a part of the community. It's awesome.
You're a busy lady. When do you go to class?
Every day.
That is wonderful. I'm sure, as I said earlier, I'm sure the school is very proud of you, as well as your teachers, because you represent Marshall High School, as well as all your teachers and Internet Club. You're there at the school.
Yes.
Since you love to speak publicly, if you could deliver one message to a community leader, and it's your community leader of choice, what would it be?
I don't think I have a community leader of my choice. Not necessarily, because I think I would deliver a very similar or same message to every single community leader. And that's just to keep going and to keep trying and pushing for change. Believe in yourself, believe in your values, and just keep going, because I've seen that work for me. And I think the most important belief is the belief in yourself and the trust in your own abilities and your own intelligence. And I think that there are a lot of leaders out there who have so much potential, who have so much interest and passion, and they just need the spark to go out and do that. And I think that's kind of what this speech competition did for me. I have the ability and I have the skills to be able to do this competition, but I got the push from the Tyson's Rotary Club, and I got the push from all of my peers back at the Interact Club to actually go out and do it. And so I hope to be the same kind of person to go out and push other leaders to go and make that change and really like be the change that they want to see in the world.
Absolutely. So we have to make an even bigger, larger investment in our young people and their voices, because you are the voice of the future. I'm so proud of you as you move forward into your, it's almost over, into your senior year. What do you have, a couple of more weeks and then you guys will be in final exams?
Yeah, actually, we recently have been doing all of our final exams. The IB exams just passed, and those were pretty difficult. But yeah, Marshall will be done with school hopefully shortly. It feels like a long time for me, but hopefully shortly.
Yeah.
And we're just getting through it.
Well, for our viewing audience, would you share with them just quickly, what is International Baccalaureate Program?
Oh yeah, I would love to. In fact, I love talking about IB, but yeah, IB is, or International Baccalaureate, is a international curriculum. Essentially, it's the counterpart to AP, as most high school students take, except students from all over the world take IB, and the courses are more structured around subjectivity, or not just subjectivity, but rather less objective answering. So you only know what you know through writing stuff down, or through orating it, or through actually practicing the knowledge. So most of our exams look like long writing exams. I mean, I've had writing exams for around like 2 hours, which to
Yeah.
me is insane, but it's really, really beneficial in knowledge retention and learning analytical, critical thinking skills. And obviously, it's a diploma, not just classes that you take. So you also have to be involved in a level of community service. So we are expected to create our own community service project. And
Wonderful, which is right in line with Rotary.
exactly, exactly. And then we're also expected to take an additional sort of philosophy class
Yeah.
within, yeah, that's like an extra class that we have to take. It. Yeah, it's,
And the bottom line is you all have external exams, correct? Where
yep.
your tests, your final exams go to Switzerland to be
Oh, yeah.
to
Oh,
be
yeah.
graded. Yeah. Well, great. I'm again. I just don't know how many times I can say I'm just so proud of you and where you're headed. And we look forward to you coming back. So thank you for agreeing to come on and share Sara with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for you guys having me on today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For the Rotary Times program, I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. You're welcome to join us at a Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or service project. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Many clubs are hosting meetings in person, virtually, or in some hybrid format. You only need to look us up for the details. Remember, our time is your time, and it's time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 118 years of service above self. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotarian Lynn Heinrichs, State Farm Agency, McLean, Virginia.